Low purr of a Maserati, the clean lines on a Lambo, the sanguine hues of a classic Ferrari. If there's one thing that can bring together men from all walks of life, it's insanely fast cars, celebrities included. Where else would you find guys like Patrick Dempsey, LeBron James, and Matt LeBlanc all comfortably grouped together? And no, it's not because they may or may not have all purchased their Porsches from Jerry Seinfeld. Spoiler alert, the guy's got a ton of Porsches. These celebs and more all hold the keys to rides that will leave you in the dust. So read on. And if you want to keep up with their insanely fast cars, check out our list of the 2017 sports cars your garage needs now. 1. Dodge Challenger SRT8, driven by Carmen Electra. Carmen Electra may have danced in Volkswagen's 2014 Super Bowl spot, but that's not the supermodel's ride of choice. No, everyone's favorite Baywatch star has stuck with American manufacturers unlike our president and drives a Dodge Challenger SRT8. 2. Porsche 911 GT3, driven by Patrick Dempsey. Grey's Anatomy's Patrick McDreamy Dempsey boasts a secret talent: he's a freaking raw checker driver. In fact, he's on Porsche's professional team. 2015 saw him finish second in his class in the legendary 24 Hours race in Le Mans, France. It's fitting that he's part of the Porsche team, since, as he told Architectural Digest, the first car he owned was a 1963 Porsche 356. When it comes to the track, though, he drives a souped-up, not at all street-legal Porsche 911 GT3. Believe it or not, Dempsey's amazing ride doesn't make the cut for the 10 greatest Porsches of all time. 3. Porsche 911, driven by Matt LeBlanc. Remember the Friends episode where Joey, Matt LeBlanc, stands by a Porsche and everyone compliments him and no? Okay, well, take it from us, it's a good one and realistic. Apparently, the host of Top Gear has many vehicles in his collection, but none so on the nose as a heavily modified Porsche 911. According to Deadspin, LeBlanc's father used to drive a 911, so it must run or rather, drive in his blood. 4. McLaren P1, driven by Jay Leno. We know Jay Leno has so many cars in his garage that he could stack them end to end and run the risk of getting hit by a plane. The hottest car in his collection, however, a vivid yellow McLaren P1, the first car of its kind to hit US roads. 5. Mercedes-Benz SL65, driven by Lindsay Lohan. In 2007, if you'll recall, Lindsay Lohan smashed her Mercedes-Benz SL65 into a tree then ran away from the scene. Police subsequently found cocaine in the car. Lohan apparently decided that the German auto manufacturer wasn't horrible luck, and has since snatched up an SL550. 6. Corvette C5, driven by Paul McCartney. You'd think a knight of the most excellent order of the British Empire would follow his country's legacy and drive an Aston Martin. You'd be wrong. Sir Paul McCartney zooms around in a deep blue Corvette C5, which he picked up in 2005. 7. McLaren F1, driven by Rowan Atkinson. We wouldn't blame you for refusing to believe that Rowan Atkinson, aka Mr. Bean, and also, don't you forget, the narcoleptic winner from Rat Race with his sleepy Avra, would drive a McLaren F1, one of the rarest and fastest cars in history. But you better believe it, the man crashed us twice. Once, in 1999, and again in 2011, where he ran up a legendary $1.4 million repair bill. He eventually auctioned the car off for $12.2 million, yet that price tag was still not enough for the ride to make the list of the most expensive insanely fast cars sold at auction. 8. Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, driven by Ralph Lauren. How much would you spend on a car? $60,000? $80,000? Would you push six figures or even seven if you could? How about $40 million? Because that's what Ralph Lauren spent on his Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic. Only two of these have ever existed. One was produced in 1936, and one in 1938. The 1936 model is currently located at the Mullen Automotive Museum, while the 1938 is sitting in Lauren's garage, likely collecting dust, because who in the world would want to bring a price tag like that on the open road? For more from the master of American style, check out his line Summer Weekend Essentials. 9. Ferrari California, driven by Ashton Kutcher. After his divorce from Demi, Ashton Kutcher did two things: he lived and invested heavily in Airbnbs, and he bought a Ferrari California. Talk about a post-divorce treat. Too bad the couple didn't stay together. They could have ended up on our list of happily married couples with a so-called reverse age gap. 10. 1971 Lamborghini Miura, driven by Rod Stewart. As Rod Stewart revealed in his aptly named autobiography, Rod, the Autobiography, he only wanted to be a rock star so he could afford a decent car. Since then, he's owned many a luxury vehicle, but none quite so decent as a vintage 1971 Lamborghini Miura. The thing sold last year for $1.5 million. When it comes to picking up your own vintage ride, be sure to brush up on the 4 keys to buying a classic car. 11. Tesla Roadster, driven by Dustin Hoffman. Who drove it better, Dustin Hoffman or our president? The Tesla Roadster, like the unfairly derided Lotus Elise, is a puny speed demon best suited for shorter guys. Dustin Hoffman is 5'6". Donald Trump is 6'2". 12. Bugatti Veyron, driven by Keith Urban. It's no secret that country music sensation Keith Urban loves his cars, but choosing a favorite would be like choosing a favorite child. So, with that in mind, we're offering our services. We'll put up his pristine white Bugatti Veyron as the best car in his collection. This thing is anything but subtle, yet still not loud enough to make the cut for the 10 least subtle insanely fast cars of all time. 13. Lamborghini Aventador, driven by Kanye West. Kanye West famously rapped about Lamborghinis in his 2012 song, Mercy. Well, perhaps the song was inspired by real life, seeing as West is the owner of a jet black Lamborghini Aventador. As they say, write what you know. Also, the Lamborghini Aventador happens to be on our list of the 20 most powerful insanely fast cars on the road today. 14. Ferrari F430 Spider, driven by Usain Bolt. In which situation is Usain Bolt faster, behind the wheel, or on 2 feet? The fastest man alive apparently lives for speed, as the answer is both. When he's not setting world records on the track, the human running track, that is, not the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, he zooms around in a Ferrari F430 Spider. And it looks like insanely fast cars are better than just speeding. Take it from this guy, whose marriage was saved by a Ferrari. 15. Hennessy Venom GT, driven by Steven Tyler. The lead singer of Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, apparently has a soft spot behind that rock and roll edge. Earlier this year, he auctioned off his Hennessy Venom GT supercar for $800,000. Every penny was donated to his charity, Janie's Fund. Looks like Janie's got a car. 16. Lamborghini Gallardo, driven by David Beckham. After crashing his Audi RS6 and subsequently auctioning it off for $87,000, soccer megastar David Beckham upgraded to an even more dangerous ride, a Lamborghini Gallardo. Let's take those turns slow, now, David. 17. Porsche 911 Turbo, driven by LeBron James. LeBron James, the king of basketball, has an expansive and expensive car collection. Big surprise, we know. But you know what's sweet? In 2014, for his mother's birthday, he bought her a Porsche 911 Turbo, so the two could have matching cars. What did you get your mom for her birthday? 18. Pagani Zonda F, driven by Jay-Z. Jay-Z may have 99 problems, but having an empty garage certainly isn't one of them. And in that not even remotely empty garage is quite a gem among insanely fast cars, a Pagani Zonda F. Only 25 Zonda FS were produced. The car has since been discontinued. With an engine that can push 6,000 RPMs, he can certainly bounce on the devil, put the pedal to the floor. 19. Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster, driven by Jason Statham. Jason Statham, he of the nitrous-infused Transporter and Fast and Furious franchises, seems to have taken a cue from his work. Perhaps literally lifting from the insane chase in Transporter 2, Statham drives a Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster IRL. Our only question, is it the same one from the film? 20. So many Porsches, driven by Jerry Seinfeld. We cannot rule out the possibility that every Porsche in circulation can be traced back to Jerry Seinfeld. For more amazing advice for living smarter, looking better, feeling younger, and playing harder,